आज ही परमार एसएससी का जो नोट्स है वो आज हम रिवाइज करने वाले हैं। फर्स्ट टॉपिक इज इंडिया एंड इट्स लोकेशन। सो इंडिया वाज अ पार्ट ऑफ गोंडवाना लैंड। गोंडवाना लैंड जो कि हम लोग को पता है दैट इज जब क्या हुआ था ना, दैट इज प्लेट्स का मूवमेंट हुआ था, प्लेट्स टेक्टोनिक थी। तो फर्स्ट हुआ था जो गोंडवाना लैंड जो था अफ्रीका पार्ट में, वो आके यूरेशिया प्लेट के साथ टकराया। ठीक है, तो वो जो पार्ट ऑफ द गोंडवाना लैंड था जो कि यूरेशिया पार्ट के साथ टकराया हुआ था, वो बना एक न्यू कंट्री दैट इज द इंडिया। एंड इट इज सिचुएटेड इन द कंटिनेंट ऑफ एशिया। इन टर्म्स ऑफ एरिया जो है, इंडिया इज द सेवेंथ लार्जेस्ट कंट्री, फर्स्ट इज रशिया, देन कनाडा, चाइना, यूएसए and Brazil and Australia. Then आता है India. Then it occupies 2.4%, but the population is 17.7%, and it is the first rank in the population. Then India has 28 state and union territories. The northernmost point here, that is this point is known as the Indra Code, that is present in the Ladakh, and the southernmost point here in the mainland of India, that is the Kanyakumari. But if you see apart from the whole India, then the southernmost point will be the Indra point or the Pygmalion point in the Andaman Nicobar Island, and it is present on the Great Nicobar. Here, the Great Nicobar is right here. Then, westernmost point, the Kuhar Mode, that is present in the Gujarat, and the easternmost point it is present in Arunachal Pradesh. The place is known as Kibithu. Then, according to the area in states, for states, the largest is the Rajasthan and smallest is Goa. And according to the union territory, the largest is Ladakh and smallest is Lakshadweep. Then population, according to the population, if we see here, then the most populous state is Uttar Pradesh and the least populous state is Sikkim. The most populous union territory is Delhi, obviously because it is a capital, and least populous state is Lakshadweep. Sorry, union territory. Now, if we see about the longitude and latitude of extent of India, yeah, it lies completely in the northeastern hemisphere. Here, you see here that is the Tropic of Cancer, and this one is the 80 here. The latitude is the 83.5 degree latitude. Okay, so Tropic of Cancer is a part of the northern hemisphere, and this 82.5 degree east. So we lie in the northeastern hemisphere of the between the latitude of 88 degree 4 minutes north and 37 degree 6 minutes north. Now the longitudes 68 degree 7 minute east and 97 degree and 25 minute east. Now north south extent is, for north south means north south, distance between this and this is 3214, and here from this to this it is 2953 kilometers. Then Tropic of Cancer passes through the 8 states. We can remember it as Kuchu Raja made Chief Justice win the meeting. So Kuchu G for Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura and Mizoram. Okay. This divide into almost two equal halves. Now in latitude are equidistant but not as longitude. Means in latitude here latitude is like this. So between these two there is 111, between two latitude 111 kilometer, but between two longitude, okay, at the pole this goes like this, and the distance between the pole is 0, and between here it is about 100. The maximum distance is at the equator, so the distance is not uniform between the two latitudes. That is why that is east-west extension is more than the north-south extension. tip to remember. Now, Rajasthan, okay. The Tropic of Cancer passes through the three capitals, that is Jaipur, from Jaipur, that is Tripura. Jaipur is the capital of Rajasthan, Agartala is the capital of Tripura, and as well as the capital of Mysore. From these three capitals, the Tropic of Cancer passes. Now, if we see about the longitude, we take 82° and 30' east longitude as our time zone, IST, Indian Standard Time. So we are 5 hours 30 minutes ahead of GMT, means Greenwich Meridian. Across the nations like countries, Russia has 11 time zone, USA has 6, and France has the most time zone, that is 13. Why this is so? France is not as big as India, but France has many colonies during the like 18th and 19th century. It has many colonies, so the colonies have many time zones, so that is why the France has 13 time zones. It passes through Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so you can remember it as Mocha. This is a trick. Okay, and for Madhya Pradesh, O for Odisha, U for Uttar Pradesh, C for Chhattisgarh, and A for Andhra Pradesh. Then land borders of India. Okay, another point, that is this one here. At this point, okay. So at this point, the longitudinal extent and Tropic of Cancer passes. They are intersect at here. This is known as this Korea district. At Korea district, Baikunthpur, it passes, means when these two intersects. Now land border, it passes through Bangladesh, China, Pakistan, Nepal, Myanmar, Bhutan, and Afghanistan. You can remember it as Bachpan mein MBF. Then total land border. Okay, total land border is about 15,106.7 kilometer, and total sea border is 11,098 kilometer. Now, if we see about the first border and the longest border, that is the India and Bangladesh. Okay, so we can remember the states which connect to Bangladesh are the Mam take water, Mam for your Meghalaya. Then comes some part of the Mizoram, then Assam, Tripura, and West Bengal. Okay, so these 5 states surround the Bangladesh. Which state of India is surrounded by Bangladesh on 3 sides? You see here, Tripura, this one, Tripura. Okay, train between the India and Pakistan is the Mithali Express, Maitri Express, Bandhan Express. Okay, then the border we share with Bangladesh is known as the Red Cliff Line. Now, if you see Bangladesh, that is Bachpan mein, now comes China. Where is China? Here. You see, Indo-China border is divided into 3 sectors. First is this one, western sector, middle sector, and eastern sector. Okay. The western sector we call it as Johnson Line. Now middle sector is known as the middle sector only, and eastern sector is known as the McMahon Line. Okay. So western sector, it defines the boundary between the western sector of Indo-China border. Okay. This comes as Ladakh, and middle one is the Himachal Pradesh. Now eastern, that is a Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. These 4 states, sorry, these 5 states shares the boundary with the China. A vibrant village program, it is a centrally sponsored scheme announced in Union Budget 2022 and 2023 for development of village in Indo-China border. Now comes China. Gone. So Pakistan. Where is Pakistan? Here. The Red Cliff Line. Sir Redcliffe line. Sir Cyril Redcliffe line drew the line in the is the boundary that separates the India and Pakistan. Okay, here this boundary separates the India and Pakistan. This is known as the Redcliffe line. Okay, so see here, this is the POK region, and this part is of Jammu and Kashmir, which is taken by the POK. Sorry, Pakistan. This is the line of line of control. Okay, and this part is known as line of actual control. LAC means LOC. So train between the Pakistan and which country which states which shares a boundary with the Pakistan are the Gujarat. Here Gujarat is present, then comes Rajasthan, then Punjab, and then Jammu and Kashmir, and here some part of the Ladakh is also here which shares a boundary. Now the train between the India and Pakistan are the Samjhauta Express, which was started by Indira Gandhi following the Shimla Agreement in 1976, and also Thor Express. Okay. Next comes Nepal. Here. In Nepal, we share boundaries of 5 states again. That is Uttarakhand, yeah, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Sikkim, and also West Bengal. So we can remember it as Subbu. Okay, that means Sikkim, Bengal, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. Now, Treaty of Sugauli was signed in 1816 that established the boundary line between the India and Nepal. Here you remember the border posts. Okay, you'll see that. Now, Nepal gone. Now Myanmar. For the Myanmar, here you can remember it as Aruna Army for Aru, that is Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram. Yeah. Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, and Mizoram. Then comes Bhutan. Here you see. Now Bhutan shares with 4 states boundary. It is, we can remember it as Bas, it is Bengal, A for Arunachal Pradesh, S for Sikkim, and A for Assam. Now comes Afghanistan. It only shares, actually it shares the boundary with the POK region here. Okay, so this part is the line of control, and this is the POK region. Okay, so here POK, in the POK region, it shares the boundary with the Ladakh, and the border between the India and Afghanistan is known as the Durand Line. Done. Now, if we see some of the important facts here, it is few organizations, that is BRO, Border Road Organization 1960. Okay. Under the Ministry of Defense develops and maintains a road network in India. Border areas are the friendly neighboring countries. The Border Area Development Program BADP was introduced during the 7th 5-year plan 1985 and 1990 in India. The program aims to meet the special development needs of the people living in the remote and inaccessible areas situated near the international boundary, that is Pakistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, and Bangladesh. Okay. There are 2. One is Border BRO, Border Road Organization, Border Area Development. Okay, here it is for the road and networking, and it is for the area, that is village development. It is passed on in 1960, and this is introduced in 1989 and 1990. That is 7 5-year plan. Okay. Now organization under the Central Armed, that is CAPF. Okay. So there are different borders. In different borders, these forces have different names and have different organization which guards the boundary. Indo-Tibetan Border Police. Okay, here it comes under the Home Affairs Ministry of Home Affairs, and it guards the boundary between the China and India or Indo-Tibetan region. Sastra Sasastra Seema Bal, that is SSB, guards the country's border with Nepal and Bhutan. Now, Assam Rifles, it is under the Home Affairs, as the operation of control is under the Ministry of Defense. Now, BSF, Border Security Force, it is the first line of defense. It is established after the Indo-Pak War. It guards the country's border with the Pakistan and Bangladesh. Now, when we see about the coastal boundary of India, India has a large coastline. Okay, that is about 11,098.81 kilometer, and it increased from the previously cited 7,000 kilometer. Okay, it is jointly calculated by the Survey of India and National Hydrographic Office (NHO). The mainland coastline is about 7,870 and long, and the island coastline is 3,228.30 kilometers. The largest coastline is of, that is Gujarat, okay, and the smallest coastline is of Pondicherry. Okay, if we see about the state, the largest coastline is Gujarat and the smallest coastline is of Goa. And if we see for Union territories, that is the largest coastline is where is it? Andaman Nicobar Island, and the smallest coastline is for Pondicherry. Union territories of India that shares the coastal boundary. Andaman and Nicobar coastline is located on the eastern coast of India, and Lakshadweep, Arabian Sea, Puducherry, Bay of Bengal, and Daman and Diu, Arabian Sea. Now, the largest coastline of the world is of Canada. Now, if we see, that is Gulf. So first we see about what is Gulf. Gulf is a portion of the ocean that penetrates the land. Okay, suppose this is a portion, means this is a land area, and this is a very narrow region which is open to the sea. So if the water is come from the sea into the this part, this region, so we tell is that Gulf. If there is the open, if the opening is wide, then we call it as bay. Okay. Gulf is a portion that of the ocean that penetrates the land, generally larger and more deeply intended than bays. Gulf are sometimes intended than bays. Gulf are sometimes connected to the ocean by a narrow passage. Okay, the passage is narrow, that is called as strait. And in case of bay, a bay is a body of water that is partly surrounded by land and empty into a larger water body like the ocean and lakes. Bay of Bengal is the largest bay in the world, and Gulf, Mexican Gulf, is the largest gulf in the world. Largest gulf in the world is Mexican Gulf, and largest bay is Bay of Bengal. Then the state sharing boundary with the maximum number of states is, this one is Uttar Pradesh. These are some facts, and the states with only one state are the one is Sikkim, Meghalaya. Okay, Sikkim only with shares only with West Bengal, and Meghalaya only with the Assam. That comes state sharing boundary with three nations. One is Sikkim. Sikkim connects India with Nepal, Bhutan, and China. Arunachal Pradesh with Bhutan, China, and Myanmar. Then West Bengal with Nepal, Bhutan, and Bangladesh. One UT that shares boundary with the three countries, Union territory, that is the Ladakh, that is for Pakistan, Afghanistan, and China. Then Sri Lanka is also neighboring country of India, so we see about the Sri Lanka. Then the strait which divides India and Sri Lanka is a Pak strait, and this Gulf is known as the Gulf of Mannar. So we also tell us that Gulf, that is a Park Bay. Park Bay is above the Gulf of Mannar. Then India shares maritime sea boundary with Sri Lanka, which is separated by Park Strait. Then United Nations Convention on the Law of there are some laws which is applicable to the sea boundaries. One that is regulated by UNCLOS, United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, adopted on 1982 and came into force in the 1994. It is an international treaty that establishes rules and guidelines to use and protection of the world oceans. Then it covers the 5 zones, that is internal water, territorial sea, contagion zone, exclusive economic zone, and high seas. Now for territorial limit is measured by 1 nautical miles equals to, we measure it in nautical miles, and 1 nautical miles is equals to nearly about 2 kilometers. Now Indian territorial limit extend up to 9 nautical miles, 12 nautical miles, and 12 nautical mile equals to 22 kilometers from the coast. And contiguous zone, it is that is lie beyond the country, and it is a territorial sea, and it extends up to 24 nautical mile. Exclusive economic zone, maritime sea, that extends up to 200 nautical miles from the coastal nation. Territorial sea. If you see about the sea borders of India, that is, it shares with 2 countries, Sri Lanka and Maldives. Then India's sea include the Bay of Bengal to the east, Arabian Sea to the west, and Indian Ocean to the south. Then Gulf of Mannar is a shallow sea between the India and Sri Lanka. We have seen about this, and Kanyakumari is a place where the Bay of Bengal and the Indian Ocean and the Arabian Sea meet. New Pamban Bridge, the vertical lift sea bridge of India, which has been inaugurated recently, connects the Pamban, Rameshwaram Island and Mandapan mainland of India. With this, our India and its location is completed.